Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Taylor Jones, and I have one question to ask you. Do you have any, and I mean any, idea what time it is? If not, let me welcome you to Season 5 of Cold Man's Winter.
Last time on Cold Man's Winter, yours truly Taylor Jones told a story about Marlon, the continuance of Marlon, where Marlon grew up and he started to, well, then again, part two was actually the real story of Marlon, where he lived his life under his mother's wing while his father was MIA in his life because of the rap career. And when he went to school, a lot of teachers thought that Marlon, was going to be up to no good, but he wasn't. But when fifth grade started, he met a girl named Jubilee who didn't take interest in seeing him because she was new. She was from Memphis, and her friend OG Ron came to him as well. He came to him with some advice, and Marlon decided to take his advice seriously. That every Friday he and Jubilee they decided to spend quality time at the lunch table, listening to some street facts and how OG Ron kept it real and what he expects until the day in the eighth grade where, let's just say, that the school dance took place, and everybody was shocked from Marlon's mother to OG Ron, especially when Marlon decided to go to the dance and spend the time of his life with Jubilee as they danced to Jodeci's Stay. But after he told her what went down and his background story, the so-called school was shocked because he was the son of an MC by the MC who was his father from the group No Good, and they played Not Gonna Cry, Marlon's father's cover of Mary J. Blige's Not Gonna Cry from Waiting to Exhale, as well as the fact that Marlon listened to his estranged father's music from the early 90s to the new, to the No Good albums that were made. But now it's time to move on to the high school era. How is high school going to turn out for Marlon? How's the life after high school going to turn out for Marlon? Find out right here, right now, as I, Taylor Jones, present you the story of Marlon, Part 3.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it correctly. It's time to continue the story of Marlon, and I give you part 3. So, after leaving junior high, Marlon, along with his friends, Jubilee and OG Ron, they were actually moving up from middle school to high school. PHS, Paducah High in Kentucky, 2003. After after he explained to Jubilee at the school dance that he was the son of an MC, a local MC from the group No Good that blew up in Paducah from the 90s. He started to take education seriously again, and Jubilee started to get closer to him. Closer and closer, as in they started to take their friendship serious, that they ended up dating. And his mother was very pleased because she actually gave him some good advice and how not to be a jerk like his father was, and to be serious about committing a relationship, as well as OG Ron try to continue to give some street knowledge ever since his family relative, his deceased family relative in Memphis. So not only did Marlon step his game up with Jubilee as well as his education, he started to take his life so serious that he even decided to make some albums, like mixtapes. So he made his first mixtape after freshman year was over. Matter of fact, he made three mixtapes after freshman year. In 2004, he couldn't come up with a name. So he decided he could either go under Marlon MJH, referring to his full name, Marlon Jacob Hartsford. Either that or what his father used to call him, MC Diaper. And he chose MC Diaper. Why? So his first three mixtapes that he made during his summer vacation, he spent around 1 to 3 hours recording one mixtape, especially the day after. Well, after school was over, and he had it released. He sold it independently in June. The first half of June, his first mixtape was released. His second mixtape was released in the end of June. By the end of June, which was volume 2. And volume 3 was released in mid-July. And everybody, I don't know, they probably laughed at his name, and he even had enough money, saved some money to come up with creating his own album covers. And everybody started to laugh at him for that. But what they didn't know is that his music was very good. He started making rap tunes, and he's been writing rap tunes since. He's been listening to his father's music, but make sure that he kept it clean, family friendly, because his mother, she was serious about him focusing on positive things, staying out of trouble. And it was like that for the entire high school years, his high school journey. Jubilee and Marlon were dating. OG Ron was keeping it real, but OG Ron, he actually played football for the high school team, and they went runner-up 2 years in a row. Sophomore and junior year, they were runner-up, but in senior year, OG Ron decided to take Paducah High to the championship, and they were losing in the first half. It was 17-14, close game. But in the end of the fourth quarter, it was a tie. All 35-35. But when the overtime happened, OG Ron made sure that they played the strongest defense ever, as well as offense. So the rivals, they actually won the heads and tails challenge. They get the ball first, but because of a mistake that the opposite team made, Paducah caught the interception, and what do you know? Mr. OG Ron was the one that caught the interception and ran the touchdown. Nobody got tackled. Well, he didn't get tackled. He made it through the end zone. And they won the game. But they had to kick a field goal first. So the ending of the game was overtime. Paducah 42-35, and they got the gold ball because of OG Ron. It was the best time of OG Ron's life. But senior year, it was chaotic. Chaotic for Marlon, because for a short period of time, for a couple of years, Marlon decided to see what was on Mama's mind. And he spotted his estranged father after so long. And at the time, senior year, Marlon ended up releasing, well, let's say that he released like he was DJ Paul and or Juicy J. They released volume tapes. DJ Paul released 16 volume tapes. And before 3 6 Mafia made an album. A real album. Because the last time DJ Paul made a volume mixtape was back in 1994. Volume 16 for the summer of 94. And for all you 3 6 Mafia fans, if you listening to the underground Memphis sound, I strongly suggest y'all to check out DJ Paul Volume 16 for the summer of 94. That was one prime example. But for Marlon, he just got finished recording Volume 10 and planned to release it for the summer. For the summer around 06, 07. Yeah, it was 2007. But 2007, early 2007, it's kind of like spring break was approaching the corner. For a while, his father came to stop by and check on the family. His mother was ticked off, Marlon's mother, that is, and Marlon, when he spotted him, his father spotted Marlon, said, "What's up?" And like, "Do I know you?" Well, he was confused about it because he hardly see him as much. And that day, that fatal day was when Marlon, remember, in the first part, I did mention Marlon was hanging out with his friends, going to the movies. They watched a 3D movie. And his parents got into an argument, although Marlon's father was trying his very best to come together and get his act together and start a family, and even plan to marry his mama, Marlon's mother. But yeah, the gun went click. The gun went boom. The father left, and after coming home from the movie, having the time of his life with his friends, Marlon spotted his mother laying dead on the ground. And the next door neighbor called the police. He was shocked. Marlon didn't even shed a tear. It's like he held on to his mother. And just thought about that song that his father made. Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. Matter of fact, he even wrote a song about wrote his cover of his father's cover of Mary J. Blige's song "Not Gonna Cry." But instead of "Not Gonna Cry" nor smoke a blunt and drink 40s week after week, he wrote down for the chorus, "I'm not gonna cry nor share a tear and or curse fuss and or nor fuss, cuss, or fight for a week." The police asked him what went down, what happened on the day of, and all he could tell them was that he was with his friends at the movie theater, and when he spotted his mother, it was when he got back from the movies, and for the spring break, he actually decided to release Volume 10 in memory of his mother. And everybody was so shocked. MC Diaper released Volume 10 dedicated to his mother during spring break. Everybody showed him mad love, and it actually blew up independently. Despite he wasn't in a record label, he just did this music thing for fun, like he wanted to follow his father's footstep, but he still made sure to keep his grades up and keep himself in order. He kept his life in check when it came to his relationship with Jubilee. He never let any girl get between Marlon and Jubilee, because Jubilee was Marlon's focus. Even OG Ron decided to give him some confidence, some courage. Heck, he even spoke at his mama's funeral, Marlon's mother's funeral, with little Jake singing a song. OG Ron's little brother, little Jake, decides to sing a song at Marlon's mother's funeral. Jubilee stood right by his side, even when he had to do the eulogy. They buried her 6 feet deep at the cemetery. Jubilee hugged Marlon the same way she hugged him from the 8th grade school dance. They were all dressed in black and white. Black suits, white shirt with a black tie. But Jubilee, she wore a black vest, white long sleeve shirt, long black skirt, a pair of black leather boots. Her hair was pressed all the way down. Largest pair of hoop earrings. Tough to live a life as a 17-year-old who lost especially for Marlon to lose his mother from his strange father going crazy, as if he felt betrayed for what his mother was doing. She was about to call the police, but she was a lawyer. Even the people that went to college with Marlon's mother gave Marlon some condolences. So Marlon turned MC Diaper. His so-called Volume 10, it started to sell. By the end of March 1st, it was 250,000 copies. In April, not one sale was made. But on graduation night, despite he was still sad that he lost his mom, wondering who would do such a thing, Marlon Jacob Hartsford ended up receiving a diploma. He was in the top 10. He made the top 3 actually. Top 3, although it was better than nothing. But Jubilee, she was top 4. His girlfriend Jubilee made top 4, and OG Ron, as a football star, he ended up getting the top 10th spot. So OG Ron, Marlon, MC Diaper, and Jubilee, they all ended up in the top 10 together. They even took a picture of each other. 2 guys wore blue, and one girl wore white. But man, let me tell you, not only did Marlon receive a diploma, the principal also congratulated him by giving him a certified gold plaque for his mixtape, Volume 10, in memory of his mother. And everybody was like, they stood on their feet, gave Marlon a standing ovation because they all were hurt to hear about his mother's passing. So life after Paducah High, things started to change. 2007. Now that Marlon just turned 18 with a certified gold volume 10 mixtape independently, not one record label that I can think of, because he never came up with it. He just did this for fun and games, just to spend quality time. But when it came to August 2007, OG Ron and Jubilee, they went back to Memphis to attend University of Memphis together as friends. But as for Marlon, with no mother, with a deceased mother and a father figure who later got busted, who later turned himself in and was sentenced to do the time, 20 years, minus 5, because he could have got 25 to life, but the father confessed that he did the crime, and it was not because of self-defense. So they gave him 20 instead of 25 to life. Marlon decided to stay in Paducah, Kentucky, because he's from Kentucky and he got that Kentucky blood in his vein. So if he stayed in Kentucky, Paducah, Kentucky, then what college do you think he would go to? If you guessed the University of Kentucky, home of the Wildcats, you were right. Just like his school colors, it's white and blue. But for college years, it was all but turmoil. For OG Ron, he got back in the game. I mean, he was reunited with his Memphis crew, his family that was in Memphis. And let's just say that he reunited with some of his homeboys that actually got him into street life. And Bernard, one of his friends, Bernard, was one of them. Bernard. But what about his little brother, Jake? Little Jake. Well, he was at the graduation. He was at the funeral. He stayed in Paducah because he was a couple years younger than Ron, but he had to make sure to get his act together. So he's trying to be like Marlon. Everybody wanted to be like Mike, but Jake, he wanted to follow Marlon's footsteps. But when college took place, Jubilee joined a fraternity. Well, sorority. You know how they do this and that, you know, all that. She she blended very well. But because of the hardships Ron was facing, because he reunited with his homies, Bernard, Bernard, he decided to say, you know what? Funk school. Funk. Funk it. Funk school. Started cussing and got back to doing the things. Well, he started doing weed, hustling. Never got caught. But as for Marlon, he's kind of like, he took his education seriously again. He was trying to make his mother proud because he believes that as his guardian angel from heaven, she was going to help lead Marlon to be a better man. But mostly the guardian angel that's going to lead him on, instead of his deceased mother turned angel, was the Heavenly Father up above. So he spent 4 long years, and he started to become a music major. But he also had a minor. But he can handle it. But in college, he made a new friend by the name of Randall Lawrence. And he was also from Paducah High. He was only 1 year younger than him. And he was the valedictorian of his high school class. And he heard so much about Marlon that he wanted to know Marlon in person. So they became cool. They even had contacts, phone contacts. They hang out on Fridays, and they even had to help each other with homework, just so that they can stay on top of things. But just like Marlon when he met Jubilee, he actually, his newfound friend Randall had a crush on Maureen, Maureen, Maureen Brooks from Brooklyn, New York. And Marlon wanted to be like me. And because of Randall's consistency, he wanted to be like serious about a relationship that just like Marlon and Jubilee had. So Marlon decided to act like Hitch, the Will Smith Hitch, try to teach Kevin James how to fall in love. But it turned out smoothly. So Maureen at first didn't have any interest in Randall. But Randall learned a thing or two from Marlon, because Marlon was giving him some encouragement, just like OG Ron did when Marlon was young. But one random day, Jubilee called Marlon asking how life is going, how's it going for University of Memphis? How's it going with University of Kentucky? And Jubilee spilled the beans. She spilled the beans on OG Ron. And OG Ron, he was caught up in the life of crime, the hood life, the street life. And Marlon was so mad. Dang it. It should have never happened. He should have just stayed in Kentucky, but there's nothing we can do. Nothing more to do, but he said he's gonna pray for OG Ron. But sometimes the prayers wasn't enough. Jubilee was concerned about OG Ron, but she was also concerned about Marlon too. But Marlon was all right. He had it down pat. The grades were still good, A and B average, but looking forward to being A plus, like he was. I mean, he wanted the same achievement like being in the top 10. Just like Jubilee, and OG Ron was. So Randall and Marlon, they still worked out Randall's dilemma with trying to impress Maureen. And Marlon had Randall's back. Even after graduating from UK in U of K, University of Kentucky in 2011, where he ended up in the summa cum laude. The summa cum laude. Just like his high school days, he wasn't the valedictorian, but he made it this far. As a music major, he started to learn the true meaning of music production, to be a producer. And he wrote some musical notes. Heck, and while he was in college, he wrote down some lyrics, but he wasn't going to use it until the time was right, and that was like after college. At a tender age of 21 going on 22, 2011, things were going smoothly. But in 2012, Randall graduated U of K, and he made the cum laude. Not just regular cum laude. He was magna. There were a lot of students brighter than him, but he wasn't fazed. He was just glad that Marlon was there to support him. Marlon was pleased. Jubilee was still pleased that Marlon was staying out of trouble. And she was still informing about the life in Memphis. But her life as a Memphis Tiger, it came to an end. Because in 2011, she graduated as well as Marlon did at the same time. She got herself in the cum laude. Amazing. But Ron, still hanging out with Bernard, still getting into a whole lot of heap of trouble, and still keeping his biz in the streets, keeping it real. But he's doing it in the worst way possible. He started drinking, smoking weed, and hustling. He gave up his own life of power, of freedom, of understanding, to go back to the madness that plagued his family, scarred his family for life. And even little Jacob was not happy. But because little Jake was like 3 years younger than OG Ron and Marlon and Jubilee, it was tough. But 2014, it was not a good year for Marlon. After, but this was like after college was over. Marlon was free of college. Jubilee was free of college. OG Ron was still a troublemaker. But Marlon was still helping Randall get through the humps. And his relationship with Maureen was going smooth that all of a sudden, after a couple years, Maureen wanted to know the truth. So it's kind of like she ended up turning Laura Winslow at Maureen. Maureen started turning to Laura Winslow. And wow. And of course, it's kind of like they imitated the scene of Family Matters episode Trading Places when Stefan pretended to wish to be Steve Urkel, and Urkel turned into Stefan. It's like Trading Places. The lesson of at the end of the episode, the lesson was learned that as That's So Raven father said, I hope you learn one valuable lesson from all. I hope you two learn a valuable lesson from all this. And Raven and Corey looked at each other and said, be yourself. In which Randall was being himself. And it's kind of like Maureen started to get real freaky. But until the fact that that's my song they playing. Favorite song playing. And grabbed him, placed him on the piano keys. Did exactly what Laura did to Stefan. But then Maureen punched Randall in the arm. Ow! What the heck for? What was that for? I want you to start fessing up, Randall. What's gotten into you? But what she didn't know was that Randall was actually about to propose to her, because he had a ring in his pant pocket. And while Maureen was mad, just frustrated, and her arms were folded like this, well, little I'm about to say little did you know, Marlon actually walked in. He wanted to check on Randall to see if everything was okay. Hey, what's up, Randall? How's everything going? And Maureen had the nerve. Like, shut up, Marlon. Shut up, Marlon. It's kind of like Charlene telling Buck to shut up. Shut up, Buck. Look, man. Fellas, I know what you're thinking. Don't you get sick and tired of women telling you to shut up? No, knowing that you just got busted? If you answered yes, then you need to hear the story. After she told Marlon to shut up, because she finally figured out that as if Randall didn't have enough guts to ask her by himself to do his own work. Marlon asked, how angry, asked Randall, how angry do you think she is between 1 to 10? But Randall confessed, it's 666. He said 666. I said 666. Oh, I must be going. No, you stay here. I can't believe this. You really had my blood going, did you? You had the nerve to help him to get with me? How could you stoop so low and not let him take care of his own needs? I thought you men knew how to handle your own. Arms folded, mad at Randall and Marlon. And even Randall's like, look, but wait, Maureen, I can explain everything. Heck, we were about to get to the biggest part. But instead, we said, no need for that. With her arms unfolded now, she was fed up. No wonder. No wonder you would like this. You know, you should have done a favor for Jubilee. Now, first of all, how the heck does Maureen know about Marlon's girlfriend, Jubilee? How did this happen? So Maureen walked out. Oh, come on. Great. Yeah, great. Just great. Well, first off, oh yeah, you think that's perfect. How the heck she know about my girlfriend, Jubilee? Oh no. If Jubilee found out I was helping you, then oh man. She really thought, what? You think that you would, did she really think that you would cheat, that you were cheating on Jubilee because of this? No, that's ridiculous. Who? No, I don't know who would say such a thing. So what now, Mr. Marlon, aka MC Diaper? Well, Mr. Randall, might as well forget about Maureen. You might as well hold on to that proposal ring that you got for her. Because right now I think I need to get to the bottom of why she's tripping and what caused her to call out my girlfriend. And after the whole mess went down, um, Marlon went home. He spotted Jubilee, arms folded. Marlon Jacob Hartford. What the heck is going on? What do you mean? What you mean what's going on? Maureen probably heard about me helping out Randall to get to Maureen, right? Matter of fact, how does she know about my relationship with you? Yeah, that's what I want to figure out. Now listen, I would explain everything. What I did was just to help our old college friend. I didn't do this to cheat on you. So Marlon and Jubilee argued as if Marlon was not 100% honest enough. As if he betrayed Jubilee. But what is going on? It's all these stupid rumors. Like somebody's causing this to happen. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like because of what went down, Maureen discovered that Randall is not man enough, and Marlon was just too selfish to leave some folks be, to do their own thing. It's kind of like Jubilee and Marlon's relationship start to fall apart. But it didn't take long. Matter of fact, who am I kidding? It took 3 months. And after 3 months, Marlon had enough. That's it. I had enough. No more, no more silence. So he packed. So while Jubilee was out, he was packing every belonging from her. He packed up every belonging of Jubilee because he felt like it was about that time to let her go. But while he was doing that, he sure enough found a bullet in the chest, referring to the plan. Someone has been following Marlon and recorded the whole shebang-a-bang, leading to a little trick up what could have been a school buddy's, an old school buddy's sleeve. Tricks up the old sleeve, where friends are really not your friends. Marlon heard the whole tape and found out quick that it was OG Ron with the help of Bernard. The Memphis thugged out duo that caused complete corruption in Marlon's life in 2014, making it the worst year of his life. And even little Jake wanted to tell him, but he was the one that made a copy of the plan to ruin Marlon's life because Ron was on drugs. Ron was so messed up in the head. Bernard was a big bad influence. But when he was leaving for Kentucky, Paducah, Kentucky, Bernard was the one to say, "You'll be back, my nigga. You'll be back. Back in Memphis, back in my arms. We'll be the dirty thugged out duo from the M Town. Word up." And just like the Best Man, the first Best Man movie, when Morris Chestnut read Taye Diggs' books and the scene turned red with the sound of D'Angelo's crap dang double crosser playing in the background. But instead, it's time to do the Uno reverse card. Taye Diggs reading the book and with the red scene, as in the protagonist decides to get mad at his so-called friend, the gangster. And all of a sudden, Jubilee came back after shopping. She came home. Her bags were packed. She was shook like, "Marlon, what is going on?" You want to know what's going on? You want to know why our relationship is falling apart? Here, listen to this. So she listened to the tape. Wait a minute. Who would do such a thing? Matter of fact, where'd you get this from? Well, while I was cleaning up, a little kid, a random guy by the name of Little Jake came by and dropped this off. He told me that this was a copy of it. So you don't even know the half. Little Jake, you mean to tell me? Yeah, yeah. I got exposed for helping Randall all because of that jerk, OG Ron, and the so-called homie from Memphis, where he got away from. Oh no, not Bernard. Yes, Bernard. That's one good reason why he dropped out of college. That's one good reason why he decided to turn his back on both you and me, especially me. And now I can't even do the hitch thing anymore. So much for dealing with Maureen. So much he had Maureen to see the ugly side, the truth. So what does that got to do with packing my bags? Because I'm tired of dealing with silence. Come on, let's be real, Jubilee. We were not going to have sex anyway, not until we get married. But since a rumor decided to go downhill, it's best that we part ways. I mean, I remember what it was like for you to get mad as if I cheated on you, which is not true. Matter of fact, since you know so much about OG Ron, you might as well put an end to this your dang self. Cause shame on him. If I had my way, I'll probably stop by and put an end to this. Matter of fact, you deserve to be free. If you think that I'm a joke, this is what happens when you let a friend get out of hand. Drugs, 40 ounces. Worse, you're gonna commit murder, or end up dead. But I'm not even gonna kill him. As God would say, thou shalt reap what you sow, right? Now listen, Marlon, you were making the biggest mistake of your life. Or was it? Was it a mistake? You made a mistake. You admitted your mistake when we first met. It took nearly 3 years for you to bring that out, referring to the school dance. Remember, Jodeci, don't talk, just listen. First of all, I gotta be honest with you, baby. I lied when I said I never want to see you again. Can you just stay, for the night? Remember that? And do you remember that I made sure, I was the one that said I'd make sure to never let another woman get between you and me. And now that Maureen exposed my helping out Randall, I don't even know if I can trust Ron again. And because of Bernard, it's a war. So what about you and me? There was no you and me for 3 months. It's just me. You're a woman. You deserve better. If that's how you feel, then be like Maureen and leave. It doesn't matter. Because OG Ron's gonna get his comeuppance one day if he keeps messing up. And Big Bernard, best believe me, he's gonna get him killed. If you was in Memphis, he would have killed you for intervening, trying to save OG Ron. That's not what a true friend would do. That's what a weak, foolish person would do. But what would Jesus do? It was already done. That question WWJD don't mean hill of beans to some people. It's an excuse. Blaming everything on the devil, that's an excuse. We are the ones to blame. It's like Tupac all over again. Me against the world. I'm sorry, Jubilee. But if I'm going to continue to get blamed on for some stupid stuff that has something to do with a thug in Memphis, count me out. And with tears falling down Jubilee's eyes, she had to grab all her bags. And she started to move back in Memphis. And Jubilee, she didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. Because Marlon would not tell her goodbye in the first place. Screw goodbye. Ain't no telling if it's going to be a see you later. Marlon was hurt. But 3 weeks later, Marlon got an unannounced visit, unsurprising visit. An unannounced, unsurprising, as in an unexpected visit. Expect the unexpected. That's what Marlon did. While he was cleaning out his room, getting rid of all of the memorabilia of him and Jubilee. But he kept the pictures just in case, because there's some things he just can't let go. The good times. It's kind of like listening to Boyz II Men's It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, with a splash of Black Eyed Peas, especially when they redid Where Is the Love. But it was just will.i.am singing the chorus before the beat started to play, as in, Mama, 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 tell us what the heck is going on. Can't we all just get along? So 3 weeks after breaking up with Jubilee and Jubilee moving back into Memphis, Tennessee, heartbroken Marlon, MC Diaper, decided to put his rap music in effect based on how angry and how betrayed he felt. To the fact that he even wrote a couple raps which were diss tracks. But OG Ron and Bernard and Little Jake stopped by, with Randall knocking on the door and saying, Marlon, you have 3 unexpected visitors. Little Jake, Bernard, and OG Ron. And when he said that, Marlon looked like he was about to get ready to fight, but it's 3 against 1. But little Jake, he was the quiet one. He was the one that Marlon would rely on. Well, if it isn't MC Diaper himself that went gold for volume 10 for the passing of his mother. What do you want, Bernard? I know how effed up you got me. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you knew about this whole crap the whole time? Well, maybe somebody shouldn't make a copy in the first place. You leave little Jake out of this. This is between you, me, and Ron. Hey, man. Look, man. What you got against me? If I recall, you're the one that gave me some advice. When it came to Jubilee. And now you got back with this guy. You dropped out of Memphis. And not to mention, you started smoking weed, drinking beer, hustling. Next thing you know, you're going to commit a murder. And you're being a bad influence to your little brother. Hey, that's enough. No, I am not done. Oh, yes, you is. Now listen, we both speak, and you listen. Why? Because you got a gat? Go ahead. Use the gat. But you're only going to make it worse. You just came here to tempt me, make fun of me, call me weak, depressed, and stupid at the same time. No wonder wonder you told Maureen to play along. So much for me being in Randall and Maureen's business. But I was the one to help Randall. Oh, this coward right there? Well, no wonder Maureen was right. He should have been man enough. Matter of fact, get the ring out of his pocket. Are you crazy? Just do it. Do it, little Jake, or else I'ma kill you. OG Ron gonna threaten his brother, his little brother. Sorry, Big R. It's just business. So instead, Randall decided to walk straight to Marlon. I don't think I like this anymore. Tell me about it. This is not going so smoothly myself. Oh, look at this. Man, this is weak. How come you ain't got no real money, double crosser? You better speak when he's asking you a question. No, I was told to speak, not listen. Because he cares. I guess Maureen had the right to put me in my place. As if this was the recreation of Family Matters. So much for me being Stefan and Marlon being Steve Urkel. But didn't know that you two out of the three were doing this to get some clout. You're high out of your mind, you're drunk out of your mind, you want to kill us for no good reason but to make yourself look good as the thuggish Memphis duo. Well, guess what? You're not DJ Paul nor Juicy J. And that's what Randall said. He stood to his ground. But as for little Jacob, he wanted to say something, but he can't. Because his life was in the line. It's like you either down with your older brother or you end up dead. So they decided to step closer to Marlon and Randall. Randall started to act brave, but Bernard and and OG Ron, they came close. Little Jake was scared to do something stupid that he will later regret. You know, it's been a privilege dealing with people like you. Now on your knees, double crosser. And to think that the person that I befriended, to deal with a thug like him, claiming that he was going to come back, to be calling himself OG. Now I know what OG stands for. You're obnoxiously grumpy, Ronald. How the heck you gonna be like this? You gave me pointers. You was my friend. You became the champion in high school football in your senior year. And you gonna let all your future dreams fall away over the hood mentality. Are you trying to make your deceased cousin proud? Are you out of your mind? And Bernard said, yo, shut the frick up. Shut the heck up. Shut up. No. No. Let him speak. Matter of fact, we speak and y'all listen. And if you don't like it, kill us. Like Marlon said. You're just pulling the front. You know what? I'm tired of this. Tired of this stupid guy. Kill him. And before they could, oh, Marlon like, oh yeah, kill this. Stomp on both feet. Ah, dang. Oh. Randall punched Bernard in the face. Oh. Meanwhile, Marlon punched punched OG Ron from the nads to the stomach. Ah. And Pimp slapped him. Ah. And both Randall and Marlon grabbed their guns, cocked it at them, and as Randall would put it, well, guess who got the guns now? Randall and Marlon. Now, as a as a way of asking, no need to ask, Randall. Might as well be like Onyx and tell them to what was that? What was that? Back the heck up. No. That's the album, including the title, make the intro. I'm thinking about the outro of Onyx. Oh, I know. Get the heck out. Get no. Get up, double crossers. The cats are here. Get the heck out. You better get the heck out. Fine. Screw you. We're gonna get your tails if it's the last thing we'll do. So Bernard and OG Ron, friend turned traitor, left the house. And as for little Jake, Randall and Marlon looked at little Jake. But Marlon wanted to ask him, why? But when you see Randall's face with the gun aimed at little Jacob, he knew that Randall wasn't playing. But little Jacob did the right thing to keep himself from getting killed. Because little Jake looked up to Marlon. He looked up to Marlon to stay out of trouble. Not to end up like his brother, Big Ron, OG Ron. So he picked up the wedding ring, gave it back to Randall. I take it back. This is personal. And on behalf of my brother and Bernard, I apologize. So after the thugs left, including little Jacob, Randall and Marlon decided to put the guns down. Man, that was a close call. No kidding, Randall. I wish this nightmare was over with. But don't you know you have some unfinished business? What do you mean? Well, let's just say let's just say that I just got a message from your father. What? Your father wants to see you. And he's behind bars. I think you can easily put the pressure behind if you tell him the truth and expose him for a deadbeat, for an MC that he was instead of a father to you. And kudos to Randall, who Marlon tried to help win a relationship with Maureen. So later that day, after winning a battle against Bernard and OG Ron, original gangster, more like obnoxiously grouchy, grumpy. And now that Randall and Marlon got their guns, they're gonna keep it because it's a war. They won the battle, but the war is still on. But it's already been a war between being exposed by Maureen to dealing with a breakup with Jubilee, and the only way to end this curse, was to break up with her, so that she wouldn't be dealing with the lies. Cause kind of like she fell for it too. And as the father, as he met with his father behind bars, they do a visiting hours or a phone call. Let's just say that the father decided that it was time to keep it real, because Marlon was already angry. No, the only thing you remember me for was MC Diaper, and I just became MC Diaper. I recorded 10 mixtapes in high school, and because of what you did to my mother, I had to dedicate Volume 10 to her and release it during spring break back in '07. Yes, I'm aware that you interrupt me, Daddy. You ain't no dad. You're just a clout chaser. You're trying to make yourself famous. Oh yeah, you made yourself famous. I wonder if you're not going to cry when I hang up on you. You got how long? Until 2027. And here I am in 2014. You already served 7 long years. And you ain't got far to go. Matter of fact, who am I kidding? You still got to deal with 14 years. 7 years bad luck, as Stevie Wonder would say. Well, you behind bars. Had the right to be behind bars for killing my mother. Do you really love her? Do you love me? You can't even stop me this time. Marlon, they need to think about what you're saying, because you're going to fool around and regret. As if I'm never going, as if what? As if you're never going to talk to me again? You never even came by. You never was there to help me in school. You never were there. I have been exposed for helping out my college friend, as if this was Family Matters. That so-called Laura Winslow's going to get hers. But I can't say it like that, because revenge never tastes good. It never did. My own friend betrayed me. And because of the stupid rumors, because of me being Will Smith hitch to Kevin James, and being exposed for it, as if I was cheating on my girlfriend, we're now exes. And now, to the biggest mistake ever made, to be identified and with the light shining down, because the ugliness, the truth shall set you free. It does, but it will not set you free from prison. Unbelievable, Dad. You never was my dad. You never were. All I remember was your raps. No good. I can't even forget about the fact that my teachers, when I was in school in Paducah would claim that he's gonna grow up to be up to no good. Like who? You? For that I say shame on you. Enjoy the remaining 13 years of your life. Unless you're eligible to live. You owe me, you owe God, and you owe your dang friends. This would have never happened if you would just come back to school like Mom. I'm done. Get bent. No, Marlon. Marlon Jacob Hartsford, come back. Oh, dang it. So his father starts to trip. Because after he slammed the desk and said, dang it, he hung up and walked back to the cell, knowing he lost. Now, this is all in 2014. All hell has been breaking loose. He's hurt. In the century of his life, Marlon Jacob Hartsford, aka MC Diaper, has had enough. He took too many losses. But for the rest of the night, he had to cool off. But how did he cool off? Well, let's just say that he got into a depressing mode. A depressing mode full of anger, sadness, and leading to the fact that he lost his way. He lost his way with the Lord for a short period of time. He been putting his estranged father's music on replay. Well, the song "Not Gonna Cry," despite he heard the foul language coming out of his father's mouth. The no good father, not gonna cry. But he played some older tunes thanks to YouTube. He been playing classic sad songs. He played David Ruffin's version of "If Loving You Was Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right," with the intro of David saying, "I'm a man of desperation. Won't you help me in this situation? People said I'm falling in love with you. That falling in love with you would drive me crazy. They say that I'm a wild child. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Can't you see? If being right means being without you, I'd rather live a wrongdoing life. Your parents are telling you that it's a shame to be with a married man. If I can't see you, if I won't, I'll do the best I can." Wait a minute. No, I skipped that part. Friends are telling you that it's a shame. It's a downright disgrace. But as long as we got each other, I don't care what your people say. He listened to David Ruffin when he did his version of "If Loving You Was Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right." He listened to Eugene Pitt and Jah 5 from "Cry, Cry, Cry, My True Story," which was their biggest hit in the doo-wop era back in 1961, followed by "Oh No, Not Again, Not Again, Not Again." He listened to Charlie Wilson's "Without You," which was based on the passing of his mom, as well as the breakup between him and Jubilee, and of course diss tracks, as in Triple Snitch Mafia, by Lil Fly, Play a Fly, against 3-6 Mafia and Thuggish Ruggish Busters by Tommy Rat III, which was against Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, he was listening to music and he didn't even have the lights on. Matter of fact, he was in the dark. Although his house was clean and put in order. And he even had a phone call from Randall. And he asked, "Is it over?" "Yes, it's over. I talked to my father and I don't want to think about him for a while. Never again." How many years you got left? Well, since it's 2014, he still got 13 more years. So that means he'll be out in 2027. You know, it's been a tough time. But like my auntie once said, at some point in your life, you're going to have to let the past be the past and move on. It's better to forgive and forget. But sometimes when you think of the word forget, you're going to regret everything. You know, you're right. If I had my way, I'll be bumping my music, creating my music. You know, you probably need some help with that. What about you, Maureen? Oh, to heck with her. To heck with her. Unless she's going to come back in my arms begging for mercy. If only she knew she was a sucker. Because thanks to little Jacob and you, I finally heard the tape. What? Little Jacob send you a copy? He sent more than one. He sent one to you, he sent one to me. I guess OG Ron's little brother deserves to be a real true meaning of a friend. I'm down with that. Are you? You know what? You're right. Let's talk later. Alright then. So, after one long week of peace and quiet, still in a depressing mood, trying to gain the power, Marlon decided to go 100% MC Diaper. And although he still didn't have a record company made in mind, he made an album. He did an album cover. He made an album. But it was just an ordinary mixtape type album. There were 22 tracks. Some of the songs he produced on his own. Others were like he used instrumentals that he got from YouTube. And the first song that came to mind was All the Things Your Man Won't Do, in which he made a song called Shame on Me, which was a self-diss track. He dissed himself based on his flaws. It's kind of like me versus me, not me against the world like Tupac. And in honor of Joe, All the Things Your Man Won't Do, and near the end of the song, he started to sing this line: shame on me, not shame on you. Shame on me, not shame on you. He's dissing himself. Remember that. He made his own instrumental to IMX's In and Out of Love called In and Out of Luck. he did a couple diss tracks towards OG Ron, followed by Bernard, and yes, one of the songs, the diss tracks he did, was called "Not Negro Enough." But of course, Marlon used the N word a lot. So, and because he had to be honest about the work that he was putting out, the music he was putting out, he actually added the old school parental advisory logo, the explicit lyrics logo, because the only foul language that he used was the N word. He even wanted to diss Maureen, but like, no. Because like Jay-Z said, originally Ice-T and Brother Marquis of Two Live Crew, I got 99 problems, but a chick ain't one. He would never even think of calling Jubilee a chick. Well, a dirty version of that. You know, the B word, the infamous B word. Excuse me. So 22 tracks for a mixtape album under his own MC Diaper persona. After dealing with a breakup, being exposed to help out his college friend to get into a real relationship, to finding out the person responsible for his mother's death, and the fact that he got exposed, leading to his girlfriend getting mad at him, to breaking up with her 3 months later. But luckily, little Jacob, he did what he did. He made a copy, but this time with his album, and he decided to send it. Well, let's just say that there was a record company in Kentucky, in Paducah. They were still living in Paducah, Kentucky by the time. At first, he was thinking about going to, Little Jacob was thinking about going to Kentucky Funk Records, KFR, but that was the record label where Marlon's estranged father and his group No Good, or NGN, created their music. But there was another record company, more better, more qualified, more quality, more refresh, and more space, because the building was so large. Referring to, let's just say that this is a parody of Columbia Records. They called it Cloud 9 Recordings. And, well, first off, little Jacob decides to send it to a radio station that was like predominantly hip hop and R&B. And let's just say that, like, after hearing the whole album, Little Jacob was full of tears. Especially, like, the first song that hit him so hard was Shame on Me, Self-Diss. The one that Marlon used the beat from All the Things Your Man Won't Do. He was crying so much that it hit home because he felt like he got betrayed, that he got betrayed by his own brother. He felt Marlon's pain. He felt he felt like OG Ron really betrayed Marlon as well as him, little Jake. That he sent it to the radio station. He he actually went in the radio station and he was wiping his tears with Kleenex. Uh, I have a request you made. There's a man named MC Diaper, and well, he made a copy of the album. He was smart. Lil Jacob was smart, and he was so sad that he tried to speak clearly after wiping the tears and clearing his throat. That the person that was playing the music, he played the CD. He played the track "Shame on Me." This it was like, oh my gosh, wait, who did this again? You say MC Diaper? Yes, sir. Hey, and while everybody was riding around, they heard the old school Joe beat. And let's just say that everybody from Paducah started to feel this rap song. This rap song was put on the map. Just like his father's Not Gonna Cry, Shame on Me, a self diss, was actually put put on the spot. A lot of folks from Paducah started to nod their head even when they were dealing with a breakup and feeling like everything was their fault. The depressed ones related the most from this song, especially the fact that everybody started shedding tears and others decided to pour out, like the homies, the thugs want to pour out liquor for the dead homies ain't here, while nodding their head, lighting candles like they were in the concert, looking at the sky, thinking about the loved ones that passed on. It's like, and even when they looked at the mirror, some of them sung the part of "Shame on me, not shame on you," because they felt that they dissed themselves as much as Marlon MC Diaper did. And that song actually put Marlon on the map. And the DJ was pleased with it. He loved, like, hey, listen, kid. I want more of that. I want more of this MC Diaper. Well, so they decided to get it on the way. But well, shockingly, little Jacob actually came up with the idea to sell Marlon's albums by making copies. And it was in stores, although there was no record label. There was no record label. How are you going to sell an album? Look, it was like independence, like selling, like Too Short selling albums from the trunk of his car, trying to make it big until he got a record deal with Jive. That's what it was like, hustling to get. He was Lil Jake was hustling to get Marlon to the rap game. And what's funny, part of the music productions, he had help from Randall. Randall produced and made sure to come up with background vocals as well as Marlon did his own stunts. But for the 20-second track, it's kind of like he actually had one song that he recorded his auntie singing, or was it? No, it wasn't his auntie. It was little Jacob singing at Marlon's mother's funeral. He recorded him singing that, and he added it to close his mixtape album. Because, just like Volume 10, he dedicated the track to his mother. The album was dedicated to his mother and his ex-girlfriend Jubilee, with special thanks to Randall, a fellow friend from the University of Kentucky. And he also gave shout out to the haters, especially OG Ron, Bernard, and Maureen. But after the album was sold around the streets of Paducah, Kentucky, Mr. Marlon Hartsford became a big deal. The next big thing since his father. But instead, he did something different. He took his rap seriously. And shockingly, when he got home after the day after Lil Jacob took the album, because Randall and Marlon were shocked to hear that song, one of Marlon's song on the radio. Like, wait, Marlon, isn't that your song, Shame on Me, the self-diss? What? Turn it up. And they both looked in surprise, looked at each other. Little Jacob. He went to the radio station, but we didn't have a record company. We didn't have a record label. Well, he was hustling, trying to put you on the spotlight. Oh man, seems like I gotta get involved in the music business too. Sure, why not? So they made it happen. Randall and Marlon made it happen. So if Marlon was called MC Diaper, what would Randall be called? Rando. That was the first choice of name, Rando. Even though he thought that it was corny, cause MC Diaper, he thought it was a weird name too, but because Randall thought it sounded so smooth, even though everybody copped the album, and just like high school, they laughed at it. They laughed at his album cover. They laughed at his name, but they loved the music. That's shocking. You laugh now, but you gonna cry later. Laugh now, but cry later. You'll be digging my style, digging my styles, digging my flows, because I'm trying to be as real as I can. Everybody laughed when they got the album, but they cried later after hearing it. Laugh now, cry later type stuff. But still, little Jacob had one problem. He couldn't find a good record company that will put Marlon on the map. But instead, I did mention Cloud9 Recordings. So he decided, Lil Jacob decided to give Cloud9 a go. Because Kentucky Funk Recording Records is like local. But he wanted to go with the big leagues. Now remember, Cloud9 is a parody, my parody version of Columbia Records. Is how strong the record company was in Kentucky. So he decided to head to Cloud9. I need a record company that would actually put this album on map. What album is this? Yo, what album is this? Well, my friend Marlon Hartsford, aka MC Diaper, made this, and let's just say that, of course, it's not completely professional yet, not released, not without an album, and he just got finished releasing this album in one whole day, and they laughed at the album cover, but they decided to give one song a try. And they were so pleased with the verses, the flows. But yo, hold up. Who is that? Is this MC Diaper? And they were so in love with Shame on Me, the self diss. Like, yo. So he made Joe look, he's bringing the Joe type tempo back. He's bringing Joe's All the Things Your Man Won't Do track, but in a hip hop style that everybody can relate. Because it was so powerful. But there was one female singer by the name of Jolene. No, not Jolene, I'm sorry. Janine Alizé. Janine Alizé. She was kind of like surprised to hear this song. She actually was about to record her album, but she was the only artist of the record company. But now things change, because when she heard MC Diaper, she giggled at the album cover, but when she heard the track, it was, and of course it was a mixtape album, she like, oh wow, I love this. So everybody had the whole, so Lil Jake had to stay with the crew, the Cloud9 crew, and the rest was history. After the full length after the full mixtape album review, the CEO actually came in to hear this MC Diaper. I like this. We could practice. Matter of fact, this could be the first artist ever first hip hop artist for Cloud9 Recordings. Lil Jacob was so shocked to hear those words, and he decided, you know what? I gotta give Marlon a call. But before he would leave, young man, I think Cloud9 Recordings needs some assistance. And you said that your friend is MC Diaper. I need to have a word with him. A word with him indeed. But that's going to be a whole different story. Because at the end of the mixtape album reaction session, Jolene Alizé and everybody else from Cloud9 Recordings, including Lil Jacob, they actually got along just fine. And the CEO decided that this mixtape album should be released by them, Cloud9 Recordings. And that means Little Jacob was on the money, and the goal is now, for the CEO's sake, to bring Marlon into Cloud9 Recordings. A dream come true? From Paducah, Kentucky? You ain't seen nothing yet. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching part 3 of Marlon. But of course, the so-called story is far from over. So please, bear with me for the next episode. With all that being said, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially the Cold Man's Winter series, season 5 that is. And also, do not forget to check out the last episode, because the link will be in the description bar down below. And with all that being said, this is yours truly, Taylor Jones, signing out with these 3 words. TBC. That's 3 letters. But what are the words? Based on the letters, to be continued.